You guys want to know something that's not so secret? The condo market in the Bay Area is a common solution for many. Whether they are people wanting to downsize or maybe the first home to get out of renting, it's going to be a very good option for people. However, with rising insurance rates, underfunding in certain complexes, and higher HOAs, all of these things combined are bringing a lot of fear to the market. But our clients are still entering it. Here's what I do to vet out condos and townhomes for myself and my clients. Now, when I'm looking for a property, I'm personally looking directly on the MLS because I'm a real estate agent and have access to it. It's a lot easier to be able to run the pricing analysis on my side because we can see all of the data in a grid-like view versus a consumer portal like Redfin and Zillow. And if you'd like access to this, just head to the link below and we'll set you up with a personalized alert that gives you access to the same properties that you're going to be seeing on other websites, with the added bonus of me answering your questions about them, but also, who knows, some things that are off the market and coming on in the future, which may give you an early mover advantage. Now, let's talk about how I vet condos and townhomes for myself. First, I don't really want any amenities. I don't want a pool, I don't want a tennis court, I don't even want a gym. What I want is the bare minimum. I look for complexes with the least amount of features the HOA has to maintain, because that's what your HOA fees are going to be paying for. It's going to be paying for the maintenance of it, but also the repairs of it. Things like siding, roofing, landscaping are expensive enough. Now, if you add in like a pool, gym, elevators, you're going to be looking at higher costs. Because of these, bigger chances that those HOA fees will continue to increase faster than others. Next, I'm always going to look at the reserve study. Every few years, any community with an HOA pays an external company to assess how their current funding is relative to ongoing maintenance and future large expenses, like roofs or exteriors. This is really important because you want to know how long left is your life of these different larger things, and is your budget and reserves accordingly, or should you expect higher HOA dues or, a worst case, a special assessment. Next, is it rentable or not? Now, most HOAs in the Bay Area are not going to allow short-term rentals under 30 days, which is fine. But do you have the flexibility by simply renting it out if you were to leave? Fortunately, more than 90% of HOAs don't have any rent caps, but you got to be careful because there will be certain communities will have this, and you have to decide whether that's a deal breaker or not. Last but not least, I don't want a unit that's been a flipped property. I don't want to pay a premium for some quartz countertops, some new paint, new flooring. I can do that myself, or I'd rather find a unit that needs some work and make the updates myself over time. It's going to be a lot more affordable, I'll see a greater return, and I will be able to choose whatever finishes I want. Fortunately, I have great client demand and contractors that can do all of it to your own taste so you can leverage our resources. Now, while condos and townhomes historically do not appreciate as much as single family, you also have to make a more fair comparison when you're competing these two different asset classes. In the same city, a condo or townhome could be more than 2 or 3 times less than a single family home in that area. Generally, the locations for these condos and townhomes are actually in better locations relative to restaurants, activities, grocery stores. Think about downtown San Jose or downtown Mountain View as examples. Many of these complexes are close by to major public transit lines like the BART or Caltrain, which makes it more convenient to get around. They also will have lower maintenance costs since you don't need to worry about a yard, and all these different costs that I mentioned before are shared amongst the building and other owners. In addition to that, you'll notice that most complexes may be newer than single-family homes. Most of the single-family homes in the Bay Area have been built in the 50s and 60s. So there is this newness factor, and with the newness factor, they also have different layouts and styles that are more of interest today with today's buyers than it was in the design style for the 50s and 60s. Now, if you have any questions or want to discuss your Bay Area search, click the link below. Let's talk about your options in the process today.